This podcast episode is off the back of a realization that I've had fairly recently, whereby I know that I need to get more intentional about showing people that they have an issue, basically. Like, to me, it's so obvious, but it makes sense as to why it's not obvious to somebody who is in my world. Like, you might be listening to my podcast or watching my stories, following my content and finding it really super helpful, but not really realizing that you need this work. And so this episode is going to raise awareness, and I've just decided to get a bit more intentional about raising awareness in my content, because essentially your subconscious doesn't want you to know that you need this work, because your brain only cares about keeping you safe, right? It really doesn't ever care about your confidence or your achievements or how fulfilled you feel, nothing. It just doesn't care about any of that. And so it will seek to get you to avoid doing the inner work, because your brain is only responsible for keeping you alive. And so what that means is not doing anything different than what you are currently doing, because anything different represents a risk, and your brain, which cares about your survival only, is not willing to take a risk. And so this is why we can be really stuck in our business and feel like we never ever are going to reach our goals, because the goals that we consciously have are not, then they're far away from what your subconscious wants for you, and your subconscious is only trying to keep you safe. So it will adhere to all of the beliefs that it has down there, like any limiting beliefs that you have. It will make your life pan out with respect, like keeping those limiting beliefs true for you. Even if you consciously know that the limiting belief you have is ridiculous, it doesn't matter what you consciously think. Your subconscious mind is what's going to be governing the things that are happening in your life, because it's your subconscious mind that is in control 95% of the time. It's affecting how you are perceiving things. It's affecting how you're feeling. It's affecting your motivation levels. It's affecting everything. And so, yeah, even down to your experience of reality, because it's how you perceive things is shaped by your internal filters, the things that you've experienced before, the beliefs that you have about yourself and about your place in the world. And so your subconscious mind will get you to sabotage over and over and over again in the name of keeping you safe, okay? But once you become aware of something, then you get the power to be able to do something about it, okay? When something goes from being unconscious to conscious, I've said this before fairly recently on the podcast, it's like you're turning the light on. You can do something about it. And so you might know that you're struggling with procrastination or overthinking or second guessing yourself, or you might know that you lack self-trust, but you might not realise why that is and what actually to do about it. The answer isn't going to be found in the things that you've tried before, because otherwise you wouldn't be in this position that you're in now. So, just to summarise a little bit then, if you're new to me, new to this podcast, I just want to kind of give an introduction as to the way I do things in my business, and therefore the way I teach my clients to run their business too. And at the heart of my work is subconscious reprogramming, because of all the things that I've just said. It's your subconscious mind that's running the show, affecting how you feel, and how you feel will always influence how you act, and how you act will always influence the outcome of things. And so it comes, like, the key thing, like the thing that sets me apart from other coaches is the subconscious reprogramming work that I do, because without that, you'll just stay stuck, because your subconscious will get you to stay stuck. And so, yes, I am a subconscious reprogramming expert, so to get you to remove the limiting beliefs from your subconscious mind. So you basically unblock yourself, you get out of your own way. I also teach on embodying the changes that you're making, because Otherwise, you're not going to make as fast progress as if your subconscious is having change, but you're consciously living with old patterns and consciously thinking old patterns, then you're going to basically hold yourself back from the power of your subconscious reprogramming. So yeah, coaching, subconscious reprogramming, and mindset is a massive factor. And then also the intangibles, like the energy and the laws of the universe, is just so huge, and is something that I'm really, really passionate about. Because when you can start to take the pressure off yourself in your business and have more fun, i.e. like I do and like I help my clients to do, then magic just happens. When you use energy as a strategy in your business, then like it amplifies the success that you're able to create. It literally gets to be so easy. Like, for example, last week I set an intention to be more intentional with my energy, and I did some things and did a little manifestation technique. And one of the things that I wrote was, I have been invited onto 2 podcasts without needing to pitch to be on them. And less than 24 hours later, I had received 3 invitations without being pitched to, like without having to pitch. Incredible. Like, it even blew my mind. And so, yeah, I've just been more intentional over this past month with my energy, because I'm very good at manifesting things anyway, but you can like 10x the power of your energy by being intentional about it. So I'm just playing with that a little bit this month. But I'm waffling a little bit. What am I trying to say? Yeah, when you just stop trying so hard and you just have more fun and you just trust yourself and focus on speaking your own truth and not looking at what others are doing, and just allow yourself to be in alignment, then like magic just happens. And when you're getting rid of the limiting beliefs around success or wealth or all those things that are programmed into so many of us because of culture and because of society and because of the things that you learn and heard from adults growing up around you, most of the time adults who start their own business are conditioned, are programmed to believe that success has to be a struggle. And so that is literally the outcome. That's literally the reality of business owners, unless they come to do that inner work and come to reprogram that so that they can create success with ease and use energy as a strategy and all these things, then that is the reality. Anyway, I'm waffling a little bit. Let's get a little bit further into this. Yeah, it's about trusting yourself, isn't it? So I'm calling this episode, Is Shame Running Your Business? And I'd like to share with you 10 signs that it is. Because the reason I use shame as a keyword in the title is because it's a very, very low frequency energy. And it's the thing that no one talks about. And essentially it's the root of so many people's struggles. I often do this thing called a subconscious block assessment, where it's just like a free call, free 15-minute call that I gift people every now and then. And giving away my secrets here, but depending on what they say, I can tell what their limiting beliefs are. And 9 times out of 10, there's a worthiness problem. And they don't feel good enough. Because if they did feel good enough, or if they did feel worthy, then they would be totally happy with who they are, and therefore not worry about what others think, and they'd just be owning it a lot more in their business and not holding themselves back the way they are. Okay, and so yeah, let's get into this. 10 signs in your business that you are struggling with a worthiness problem, and that there is some deep-rooted shame within you somewhere in your subconscious mind, in your life experience, that has not been released, that has not been worked through via healing, and i.e. the work that I do, it's not been worked on. So it's there, you're carrying it around with you, and it's made you form limiting beliefs about yourself and about what is possible, and therefore it's holding you back. And it can show up in the following ways. There are a number of ways that it can show up for you in your business, but I've just highlighted 10 examples that just popped into mind. And these are all business related, but like anything, Business is so connected to you as a person. And when I work with somebody, by the way, I don't work with them for their business. Like, it's so, for me, I have to do what's in alignment with me, and I care about people. It's always a person in front of me that we work on, because when you get to a place that you are totally happy with who you are as a person, everything about you feels good, and you're worthy because you are, not because you achieve something or anything like that. When we do all of that work on you as a person, then of course you're going to be totally happy with who you are as a business. And your business is an extension of you. And so you will unblock yourself and unblock yourself from blocking, like, you're blocking your success basically unless you do this work. Or you're creating success, but you're sacrificing yourself in the process, i.e. heading for burnout or not experiencing joy or freedom in the way that you could, in the way that is possible for you. So much is possible. And so much of the time, like, I find it doesn't bother me anymore. It used to bother me, but it's something that I've worked on. It used to really frustrate me when I could see that somebody needs my work so much, and like, I know what's possible for them, like, and they just think, oh, you know, I'm so happy and it's okay for me, and that must be how she lives her life because she's her, and it's not possible for me. And that's utter crap. Like, how I feel in my business is available to anybody, because the way you are is not who you are. Anything that feels heavy about who you are or the way you are, that is a pattern and a program. We don't come into this world feeling bad about ourselves or not feeling good at something. That is somebody's voice from the past, or it's an experience that you've had that you've made mean about you or yourself on some level. So you formed a limiting belief that makes you feel that low vibrational energy of shame or not enoughness, okay? So this feeling of being totally free and joyful, and that anything is possible in the present moment, and not needing a level of success or anything to validate you, to just feel good enough as you are. This is totally possible for you. It just is. Like, you just could do the work, and it unlocks it for you. We're already 12 minutes in. Let's get going. Okay, so number one then, telltale signs that you have a worthiness problem in your business. Number one, like, I'm going to start with the blindingly obvious. You're not charging enough for your services, okay? If you felt worthy, you would charge more, and you know that you need to charge more because even your clients are telling you that you're not charging enough, but you just cannot bring yourself to. It just feels weird to up your prices. And so you're sticking with the prices that you've had from ages ago, but you've got so much better at the work that you're doing. And therefore your client results are getting better, but to the point where it's a bit embarrassing. Like, you're getting it so often where your clients are saying, you need to be charging more. You're like, this is so good, but you just can't bring yourself to. Massive sign that you have a worthiness problem there. Next sign, you're over-delivering in your programs. You're just over-delivering, and that is a sign of a worthiness problem, because you feel that it's not good enough, and so you have to keep giving, in case what happens if somebody says that they've not got their money's worth or something. You don't feel safe in yourself and your decisions, so you keep giving and you keep giving and you keep giving. And what happens in the process is that you're self-sacrificing. And yeah, you're not giving yourself the freedom to market yourself as well as you could, because you're spending so much time delivering inside your programs. And you might even be feeling triggered as you're listening to this, because you might be thinking something like, well, of course I've got to put my clients first over my potential clients. Well, yeah, but you've got a business to run. And so you need to be placing your energy also into bringing in new clients, and over-delivering in your programs is not serving you, because ultimately if you did feel worthy and if you did feel good enough, you could make those decisions that are in alignment for you and your business. So you didn't sacrifice yourself in the process, and your clients feel that what you're delivering is super valuable, rather than feeling like they are getting something that is, like they feel like they should be paying you more. And when it's got to the point that somebody's actually telling you that, then it is a massive sign, because it's so big in their mind that they have to say it. rather than even just thinking it. So it's gone further than them just thinking it. It's like, it's so much of a problem that I actually need to tell this, they need to charge more. And so, yeah, you're just self-sacrificing the potential success of your business, your own energy, because you're putting so much in. I think I'm like ramming this home now. I think it's pretty clear. Like, you'll know if you're listening to this, you'll know if this is you. So yeah, if you did feel worthy, then you just make those decisions and your clients would still get massive value from you, and you would leave them feeling wanting more. So there's potential for growth in your business, but maybe you're capping yourself because you're giving everything away in your low ticket containers, or in your containers that you've got at the moment, your programs that you've got in the moment, you're giving everything away, that you're not leaving any scope for somebody to want something else. So you're literally just sacrificing yourself and your business because you've got a worthiness problem. Next one, this is interesting. You are triggered when you see someone else charging much higher prices than you are. And yeah, you just find that massively triggers you. Well, a trigger is just a sign of some inner work that you have to do. So that literally is it. If you did the work on yourself, then you would be able to charge more. And that trigger is just a sign of some work that you need to do. So take it as a sign to do the work. Next one, you judge people who are able to double their prices. Of course you do, because you're not able to, and it makes you feel, it feels heavy, doesn't it? If you judge those other people because well, I don't know. Let's think about this. If we're judging somebody, it's just a sign of some work that we need to do on ourselves. So that work that we need to do on ourselves is that worthiness piece. If you did the work to feel worthy and good enough, you would also be able to double your prices. And if you're judging somebody else for doubling their prices because you're thinking, who are they to do that? Like, they must be greedy or something. Then that is a sign of some money mindset work to do. Because if you're thinking somebody is greedy, then that's a real red flag, because we're all worthy of massive abundance, an overflow of abundance. And when somebody else is winning, that doesn't take it away from you and your potential to win too. No. It's like, yeah, if you're triggered by somebody being able to double their prices, then that's either a sign that you've got some worthiness to do, some worthiness work to do, but also probably some money mindset too, because you're judging how much money somebody is making. What's your beliefs around being wealthy? Because if you want a certain level of success, but you've got subconscious programming to do with money mindset, like some subconscious reprogramming to do around money mindset, then of course that's going to be holding you back. Next one, this is also interesting. You let your clients stay on inside your programs beyond their finish date. And there's always a reason, but you know deep down that you should have stronger boundaries, because it's out of integrity. It doesn't feel nice that you have allowed somebody to stay because they have some sort of excuse going on in their personal life or whatever. And somebody else who hasn't said anything has come to the end of the program and left. Now, if somebody asks you, can I stay because X, Y, and Z? Well, it's up to you to stay in integrity and hold your boundaries. It's not fair if you let somebody stay without a really good reason, and it just doesn't feel nice. Like, deep down, that will not feel nice, knowing that someone stayed longer for free when other people haven't. And it's just a sign that you have some work to do on worthiness and feeling good enough and just owning your decisions as a business owner. Of course, there are exceptional circumstances and you can lead your business with compassion, but you are not here to people please. You are here to set an example. And if your clients are business owners too, then this is really, really important what I'm about to say. Everything that you are doing as a coach or a leader to your clients, you are modeling. Okay, so it's actually your responsibility to hold good boundaries because you're showing them what's possible. And ultimately, it's for the greater good when you have good boundaries. And all of this work, they are watching you and learning from you. Okay, so it doesn't work in anyone's favor when you don't do this inner work and you can't hold your boundaries. That's what it comes down to. Everyone struggles with boundaries, but ultimately it comes from doing the inner work, because honestly, when you do it, boundaries aren't a problem at all, because your energy is different. The way you feel about yourself is different. The way you carry yourself is different. And it's all conveyed in your non-verbal communication. I see other entrepreneurs dealing with so much crap that I just never ever face. And it's down to manifesting. Like, you get what you're available for. You literally get what you're available for. So if the relationship that you have with yourself is not as good as it could be because you haven't done this deep work, then you'll be manifesting things in your life, client struggles, dramas in your business, because you're available for it. It's all interlinked. Energy, things we manifest, we're always manifesting. We're co-creating all the time. And the things that are showing up for us are lessons for us to learn and grow through. And when we do that learning, we do that growth, we do that personal development, stuff changes, life gets easier, because you're just not available for the stuff that you used to be available for. Honestly, it's hard to describe unless you're working with me or you've done this kind of work elsewhere and you experience the change. It is just life-changing. And also just to say that anything that's going on outside of your business, if there's any people pleasing or anything that's not working, anything that's misaligned basically, that doesn't feel good outside of your business, then 100% it's going to be affecting you in your business, because you just can't compartmentalize energy. If you're blocking yourself in some way outside of your business, it's going to be affecting your business too. And that's another reason why I work with the person, not the business. The business will thrive when the person thrives, okay? Next one, how are we doing? Okay, so another sign that you have a worthiness problem is if your prices and your packages are all over the place, i.e. always changing. You cannot decide. You cannot trust yourself with that, and you end up concocting bespoke packages at the request of potential clients on discovery calls, because you're basically bending to their requests and things rather than standing in your own leadership with your programs that you believe in. And you end up like molding and bending to suit them. Like, who's the leader? Who's the expert? Who's the leader on the discovery call? Well, it's you, of course. You're the one that's offering the service. You're the one that should trust yourself, that should lead, listen and provide. Like, only if it's in alignment, suggest the services that you have, if it's in integrity and if it's in alignment for the person in front of you. Like, I would never ever take somebody on that I didn't fully believe that I could help. And that comes down to safety too, because if you have money mindset problems and you're not feeling safe in your business, you're like, shit, where's my next client coming from? Then it's very hard to trust the red flags, or to know. Like, you'll be on a discovery call and in your heart you'll know that the person you're talking to isn't fully aligned with the work that you do. You'll know that there's somebody else that's better equipped to help them, but you'll end up taking them on even though it's not the best fit, because you have money worries and you don't feel safe in your business, and all of these things are intertwined, and you end up working with misaligned clients that are draining your energy rather than leaving you feeling energized, and then just round we go in a circle. So yeah, you don't want to be changing your services and offering bespoke packages. No, you want to trust yourself, because every time you do this, I'm talking to you, like, apologies, it's just coming out this way, but I'm not saying that you have this problem, but like, this is what I see a lot in the entrepreneurial space. So people that are on discovery calls and end up bending their prices and bending their services and stuff, they just feel gross afterwards. They just feel so annoyed with themselves because they haven't been able to lead in the way that they wanted to lead. And they've ended up doing something that has created all sorts of resistance because they've done something that they didn't want to do. And that is down to the inner work again, because if intellectually you can know something, but how you feel is the thing that's going to be driving your behavior. So even though you can go into a discovery call after 5 times of changing your prices and concocting bespoke packages, and go into the next one thinking, I am not going to do it this time, I'm going to stand strong. You can have all the good intentions in the world and still end up doing it. And it's because your subconscious patterns and programs are driving your behavior. Okay, and it will happen time and time again. This is self-sabotage, and this is why self-sabotage is so hard to overcome unless you do the subconscious reprogramming in this deep inner work to shift your whole identity so that you feel worthy and you feel good enough, and none of these things are an issue any longer. Next one. Love this one. You don't like to admit it, but you're coaching for free in the DMs. And again, deep down, it does not feel good, because you know that there's clients who are paying for your services and you end up giving it away to other people in the DMs. Doesn't feel good, but the people pleaser in you is just leading you. And again, it comes down to the subconscious patterns and programs. If you felt totally worthy, there wouldn't be any of this happening in the DMs at all. You'd just be unapologetic about the work that you do. And if somebody tries it on, and by the way, this doesn't happen to me because of the energy that I put out. It doesn't happen. I just don't let it. Like it's all down to this work, basically. You do the work on yourself, it just doesn't happen anymore because you're not available for it. But you shut it down quickly. It's like, the idea is that you've got people paying for your services, so it's not fair. It's not in integrity to give your services away for free. Your time and your energy is precious and valuable, and so you want to act like it is. And that's what's in integrity to you, your business, and your paying clients. It's fine if you want to give out as much value. Like I give out so much value on this podcast and through my social media content because it feels in alignment for me. I love sharing this stuff. And my clients, they listen to the podcast. They're probably my most loyal podcast listeners because they know how valuable it is. But best believe I'm giving them more value on the inside of my programs than it's personalized to them. Okay, there's a difference between giving away your value publicly and coaching for free in the DMs. Okay, very, very different. Next, this is linked actually, because you can feel triggered because your ex-clients, i.e. those that have finished working with you, you can feel like they're taking the piss a little bit because they're still treating you like their coach in the DMs. They're still coming back to you and asking you questions. But ultimately, that's not their fault. If you're allowing that, it's your fault, isn't it? Like, it's a worthiness issue again, okay? You get what you're available for. It's an issue with your lack of boundaries. And if you did feel worthy and if you did feel good enough and they're still coming back to you for support, they clearly want your support. So it's down to you to say, hey, let's jump on, let's chat. Like, I can see you'd like more support here. Shall we hop on a call together and see what the next steps might look like? And they might come back and say, oh no, it's totally fine, I've got this. Great. Stop wasting my time then. Like, I'm not being funny. That's ultimately what it comes down to. If you know full well that they're asking questions that they shouldn't trust themselves in, then say that. Like, you can be kind about it. You can say, I know you know this. Or whatever the specific case is, but value your time and your energy. Stop giving yourself away, basically. But ultimately, if you're doing that, it's down to not feeling worthy, all right? And the inner work will be a game changer. Next one, I've totally lost track of what number we're on, but hey ho. Next one, you want to make changes to your programs because you've got new ideas and you're excited and you've up-leveled since you created that program. Maybe you want to reduce the number of calls that your clients get in the program because you can give much more value. Like, I don't know, when you first start something, you kind of, it's not, I'm going to run out of time in a second. Hang on a second. Let me just stop this recording and start a new one. Okay, so let's keep going. Where was I? I was saying, if you if you want to make changes in your program because you've up-leveled in your skill set and you've come so far since you started that program, but you're not making those changes, then of course that's a sign of a worthiness problem, because you worry about what your current clients would think, or you worry about you literally are worried about what they're going to think and what they're going to say, rather than trusting yourself to make the moves that are in alignment with you, that ultimately is best going to serve your clients. When you are fully in alignment, everything else becomes magic. The results for your clients improve. Everyone just feels better because your energy is better. You're in alignment. Of course your energy is better. People feel good in your space. When you're not in alignment, you're creating resistance. There is heavy feelings going on for you. And whilst it may not be consciously obvious for your clients and your audience, it's going to be felt, because most of our communication is non-verbal. And so, they will just know. They'll get a vibe. We are like, our subconscious is reading our surroundings all the time, and we might not consciously be making decisions about how we feel about somebody, or whether to invest in somebody's service, but subconsciously we're making those decisions. Subconsciously we're making those decisions to watch somebody's story on Instagram, or to open somebody's email based on how they've made you feel in the past, or to listen to a podcast episode again. How does the people that you follow, the people that you're considering investing in, how do they make you feel? If they make you feel good, then chances are their energy is in a good place. They are in alignment. And you can tell when somebody's not behind the work that they're doing, or when they are overworked, or they are putting themselves last. Like, you just don't have the same energy, do you? Like, I just think I'm flogging a dead horse here. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? When somebody has magnetic energy, and when somebody just lacks, and when somebody's in lack mode and just doubts themselves so much, like, there's so many giveaway signs that they give away in their communication, and non-verbal communication, more importantly. So yes, ultimately then there are things that you can do as you're listening. Like, you can change the game yourself. It's pretty obvious. You need to, once you're aware that you're doing these things, you can change, right? That's what I said right at the top of the episode. Self-awareness is key. I mean, you didn't realize it was a problem that you're coaching in the DMs, and now I've turned the light on for you, and now you realize, of course, it's out of integrity. It's not fair to those people in your programs. Then you can change. You can decide to not do that. But if as you've been listening, you feel like you've ticked a lot of boxes, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is really obvious. I have a worthiness problem now. And you realize that you're more concerned with how people perceive you, and the things that you're doing to shape how people perceive you, then that's a sign that shame is running your business, and that you do have a massive worthiness problem. You don't feel good enough as you are, just as you are. And if you did feel good enough, I'm not even talking about you as a business owner, I'm talking about you as a person. If you truly felt good enough just as you are, not for the things that you've achieved, or not for the money that you've made or anything like that. No, strip all of that back. Just you as a person. If you feel good enough, then you're going to feel good enough as a business owner. And your business is an extension of you. So when you feel good enough as a business owner, you'll be able to make those decisions that are in alignment. You'll be able to trust yourself. You'll be able to not worry about what people think. You'll just be able to trust yourself to speak your truth and act from a place of alignment. And that is in yours, and everyone who knows you and who is in your space is in their best interest too. You are showing others what's possible as well. Not to mention the fact that it gets to be so much more fun and free and easy and joyful. Like, it's just, honestly, it is amazing the way that the transformation that people get through even just, 1 or 2 sessions with me is such a game changer. To experience going from the place of heavy self-doubt, people pleasing, whatever it is, whatever's feeling heavy in your business, it doesn't have to be that way. So I hope this episode has been really supportive in the sense of raising your awareness. And if it has, then and you realize that you definitely have ticked some of those boxes, then I truly believe that doing the inner work is the next best investment for you. Truly. Because when you feel better about yourself and you trust yourself more and you believe in yourself and your subconscious is in alignment with your dreams, i.e., you don't have any issues around creating massive wealth, or you don't have subconsciously fear success or any of those things, then you're just going to be able to unblock yourself and just massively collapse your timeline and achieve the things that you want to achieve so much faster. So if you have, upon listening to this and maybe listening to other pieces of content that I've created recently, like, do your thing, go and watch my masterclass, whatever it is you need to do. If you're then at a place where you're like, right, I know my next investment is the inner work. And if you feel that that is with me, come and speak to me. Come and have a chat with me over on Instagram. You can DM me at I am Jenna Holloway, or you can email me. Or whatever, get in touch, go and watch my masterclass, do what you need to do. But when the time is right, you trust yourself and you now know that the inner work is the next investment for you, I would love to be the person to support you with that. So on that note, I will end this there. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm not going to waffle. I'm going to end this right here, right now. See you all soon. Bye.